Jack Daniel's World Championship Invitational Barbecue. Well, that's a mouthful. I got to tell you, I really appreciate all of you, whether you've been a contestant, a judge, a volunteer, one of our sponsors. We have endured a frigid day, right? But all of you got smiles on your faces, and I'm real excited about the results of this year's contest. So I just want to say thank you for everything you've done, whether you were a contestant, judge, or volunteer, or a sponsor to this year's event. Without further ado, I want to introduce this year's Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Chip Chapman. This is not the Chip Chapman fashion show. Even though you always amaze me with that outfit. I'll tell you. How many years?
All 24.
All 24 years right here. Thank you very much, Chip. It's all yours, my friend.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
Lynchburg, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem.
I'm Philip Brazier. I live here in Lynchburg, Tennessee. I work at Jack Daniel Distillery, have for about 38 years now. And, 36. I don't want to make myself any older than what I am. And I'm down here at the contest because I have been for every single year that it's ever been. As a matter of fact, the very first one, and I'd never even been around barbecue contests before. I was working in the main office at the distillery, and my boss came around and said, well, they're having some kind of little barbecue thing down in the park this weekend, and we sort of expect our salaried employees to go down and volunteer, so to speak. So I took that as a hint that we better go down there, and so I came down, experienced it on the Friday night. Thought this is pretty cool. Saturday I went down to the judging tent and I met a gentleman named Gary Wells. And Gary looked at me, he looked me up and down, said, "You a big old boy," said, "You're a table captain today." I said, "Well, whatever you want me to do. I've never been a table captain." I said, "What do they do?" He said, "Well, you're really a glorified bus boy. So just clean the table and bring the judges something else to taste when the next category comes around." So I did that, and I actually did that for about 6 years. Only contest I ever went to was just the Jack. I did go to the judging class just to take it, to have it to become certified, because they wanted us table captains to be certified. So I did that, and I said about the first 6 or 7 years, this was the only contest I went to. But I had some real good friends from here in Lynchburg. They're late night whiskey smokers, John and Marcia Hale, and they were competing, and they said, well, there's some more contests locally, you need to start spreading out a little bit. So I did start going to Lebanon, Tennessee, Cookeville, Tennessee, so forth and so on, and tried a few contests. Thought this is really neat. So I judged for about 5 or 6 more years, and my wife got into it. I was bringing some food home and letting her taste it, because she couldn't believe I was bragging about how good the food was. So she was sampling some of it. She said, "Hey, this is not bad." So she started going to contests with me, and she got bored sitting around at the contest while I was judging. So she said, "I think I'm going to take the class." So she took the class here at Lynchburg at the Jack Daniel, and she got into judging. So we judged together for around the Southeast for about 4 more years, till finally we were at a contest and somebody came up and said, "Y'all are pretty personable. Have you ever thought about becoming reps?" And I said, "Well, I've never had thought about it. I don't know what a rep does." So there was a few people sort of talked to us and at a contest and said, "Here's what you do," and we sort of liked the idea. So next thing you know, we went through training and become KCBS reps, which we've been doing for about 6 years now, 6 or 7 years, and we do about 17 contests a year. The only thing that's holding us from doing more is I only get 25 days vacation per year, so by the time you use a day and a half for each contest, it runs out pretty quick. So that was I would never be interested in doing any other hobby. I've golfed, I've played softball, everything on the year, but we've never met anybody like barbecuers. I mean, it was just amazing. And truth be known, if we got a weekend where we don't have a contest that we're repping, if there's one within an hour to an hour and a half away, we usually pack up the car and we usually go and visit because we know we're going to know somebody. And we actually started working the jack here, the backyard division. We ran it for a couple of years. Like I said, I table captained for, I think it was like 12, and then they let me judge as a reward. They let me judge it one year. And I said, after I got through, I said, well, this was nice, thank you, but I'd rather be table captain. So I went back in table captain for about another 2 or 3 years before we started doing the backyard division. And the trouble was with our repping, we know so many teams that are competing at the jack, and we were tied up with the backyard. So we'd say, well, some of these teams say, look, we didn't see you. We didn't get to see you all weekend. So we finally just begged out and let somebody else take over the backyard so we could just come and hang out. And this year we know about 20 different teams, and we've been able to go by and visit those and just enjoy what barbecue is all about, just having fun with them.
How about a few anecdotes in the early years?
I think one of the there's been several. I think one of the best was one of the very first years. Jack Daniel had a contest where you turned in writing why I should judge the jack, and I was lucky enough. I had enough experience as a table captain. They said, we're going to put him at your table. Well, an hour before the competition, the gentleman was sitting there. He had his family off to the side. They were watching him, taking his picture. But he put the apron on. He put the cloth napkin around his neck. Said, I'm ready to start. This was an hour before. He said, I'm so geared up. Well, I did the little spiel about, well, learn to pace yourself. Back then, I think there was 7 categories. He said, oh, I'm fired up at this, fired up at this. Well, here come the chicken category. First category. This gentleman ate all 6 of his entries of chicken. Ate all 6 of them. And I said, well, now you know the sort of what, oh yeah, but trust me, I love barbecue, I'm good at this. Well, here came ribs, here come the rib category. He not only ate all 6 of his ribs, but he turned to the judge, a couple of judges that were at the table, said, are you going to eat on the other side of those ribs where you tasted? A couple of them said, well, no. So he went up eating the rest of some of their ribs. I bet he probably ate about 9 ribs in all. And that's when he sort of reared back. He said, well, I'm beginning to get full. I said, well, you've got about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 more categories. Oh, I don't think I can go that long. I said, well, you better pace yourself. Well, I think the next category, I can't remember, I think it was like the homeland, something in between. And he just took little bitty bites. And I said, well, you're going to have to start tasting a little bit more than that. Well, it came to, finally got around to the pork category. And I noticed, his samples were not much bigger than his thumbnail. And I said, you need to take a little bit more than this to be able to judge it. I can't, I'm full, I quit. And I said, you can't quit, you're a judge, you can't. He says, no. I said, I'm full. He said, my wife's going to come over and take my place the rest of the day. I said, no, your wife is not certified. You've taken the class. You've got to judge. He said, I can't. I said, well, suck it up and try it. Well, sure enough, I think that's when the homeland came along. The whole hog category was the next. And he came up and said, took it and said, no, I'm through. I quit, I get up. He did sample it enough. He said, I'm leaving. And I said, no, you got 1 more category to go. And he just looked me in the eye, and it was as serious as I could. He said, if you don't let me get up and go right now, as soon as I put that first piece of brisket on my plate, I'm going to throw up, and I'm going to throw up all over this table, and I'm going to cause a scene. So you can either let me go, or you can make me do that to make. So I called the reps over and told them, explained to them. So they gave him a pretty good little reprimand for not pacing himself, but they did replace him because they didn't want to see him. And as he was going off, this was no joke, his wife was actually leading him. He was sort of leaning over to the side of her. He was so stuffed from judging it. So I think he learned a lesson from then on. You don't just pig out when you start trying to judge any kind of category, especially, or any kind of contest, especially barbecue. And but over the years, Jack Daniel's really been known for bringing celebrities. We've had Eddie Haskell. We've had Miss Ellie. Eleanor Donahue was here one year. The gentleman and I can't remember his name right offhand, that played the county agent in Green Acres. His name slips me. I cannot think of his same life, but it was amazing, these people that were such TV stars, but once they sat down in front of the barbecue, it was just like they were your next door neighbor. They were so dead serious on this. They said, you know, we realize these folks have a lot of money and time invested in this, so we want to make sure we do right. Now, they would get up and go visit their fans in between categories, but most time the table captain would say, okay guys, time to get your contest, trying to get your judging back going. So they would come over, sit down and get that category over, then they go visit, but they really give it their all. A lot of times people make fun of the Jack because of the celebrity judges that they use, but I don't think I have ever met a one that their focus was more on being seen than doing the judging, because I think once they got down here and walked around and saw what all these teams are doing, they thought, no, I'm going to at least give them 2 or 3 hours of undivided attention to make this thing work. So pretty much every one of them.
You're here. That's not fair. We want to make this even competition. If you need to leave, please walk way around, please. Again, let's keep that integrity going for us. Okay. We have 4 clocks set on the table, so you'll be able to see your time stop time. I will give you a warning at 5. Hopefully, if I'm not cutting my head off, or Kathy's right here too. Kathy may be taking care of the judges, but one of us will. I didn't introduce. I'm Dennis Polson. This is Kathy Brazier. My wife Linda Polson's helping. Chip Hammond is going to be our Chapman. I'm sorry.
Let's see Chip Hammond.
And Chip, I have a good roping friend. But anyway, he's going to be interviewing you as we go along. If he gets your way, just shoot.
Is that busy? Come back later.
What else, Kathy, we need to talk about?
As long as anybody has any questions, that sounds good. You know, you have that 10 minutes to determine what spice and ingredient you want to send your runner back for. Check it with us when it comes back so we can approve it. Other than that, go ahead of time. What they're having. You know, last year,
in the past,
everybody came in and said, oh, they got so-and-so and such and such. You know, we could do so. Right, they have a few minutes extra that they could be planning. We didn't have a booth to sequester them. That's
This is your 5th. What are you looking for out of all the preparations that are going on here? What are you and your taste buds most looking for?
Oh, I love bacon. No, I just want to see what kind of presentation they can put together and have the flavor that you would want to have with such a short notice.
All right, Dr. John Brody, good luck. We're glad to have you here. Jason Perrigan. Jason has been coming to the Jack here for 7 years. And Jason is one of these people that gets here like early in the week and helps line out the park, and he does a whole lot behind the scenes that most of you are aware of. Jason, it's your first time judging I Know Jack.
Yes, sir.
What are you looking for?
I'm really looking forward to the lamb chops.
Is that all?
Is there anything else?
Jason, normally we can't get you to hush, and now you're just doing 3- and 4-word answers. What is the best part about coming to Lynchburg for you?
My barbecue family being here.
Good morning, chefs.
Good morning.
Our first team is Smoke on Wheels from Kansas City. Andy Groneman, is that correct?
Yes.
Chief cook, and is being assisted by Sean Heber.
That's right.
Gentlemen, are you familiar with the rules?
We are.
Are you familiar with your list of ingredients?
We're getting familiar. We're learning it right now. We're studying hard.
Do you have any questions?
None.
Gentlemen, step to the back. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You want to wait for Sean?
We're ready, Sean.
I got this.
All right. He got it.
Are you ready?
Let's see it. Let's see what we got. Woo! Big case of whiskey. Perfect. Marinating with the goods.
You have 10 minutes.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right. So do we want to use, what do we want to use as our other ingredients? We got bacon. We're going to need we get one other ingredient.
You can go back and get one ingredient and one spice.
I'm trying not to talk too loud, Chick, because those people are listening.
Yeah, they're shipping it.
Get rid of this.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Yep. Don't worry about that. Look, I'm betting a scrapple.
Actually, we should make that. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay.
Well, we have.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it said there was garlic on this. Oh, there you go.
You got to throw in your garlic, you know? That's why you brought the New Yorker.
Say that again.
You got to throw in your garlic. That's why you brought a New Yorker.
Absolutely.
That's right. Okay.
Although
So
we came 1,800 miles for another team from New York and a team from Jersey.
Yeah. So let's see here. So we want pork, right? And then what's our other ingredient that we need? Our spice. We get a seasoning too. Is that all we need? We don't have any other seasoning other than salt and pepper. All right. Yep. All right. All right. Let's do that.
Curry, we don't have curry.
I know. All right. Let's do that.
All right, Sean and Andy are debating about what their missing ingredient is, and they're missing spice.
So, a quart of heavy cream and peppercorn.
Yep.
Because we've got onions. We've got everything.
You got everything else is good.
Yep. All right.
Everything else is good. All right.
So,
Let's take it.
yep. Perfect. So let's look at everything lined out as you want. So let's look at our list.
Okay.
Smoke on Wheels is doing their final ingredient layout. They begin cooking in exactly 4 minutes.
Your menu plan?
I think we're going to do, we're just going to take these lambs out. Probably not going to use the mid jug. We're just going to give them up with a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic, like you would a nice steak. And we're going to make a little off-block sauce to the top of it. And then we're looking at a little bit of that, just standard nice little risotto on the side, maybe throw a little bit of bacon in there. And we're also going to try to think outside the box with the broccoli and make a cream of broccoli soup to turn in with it. Hopefully that'll work. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see. We're thinking everybody's going to know how to put mint jelly.
They did put mint jelly in the box?
Yep. Of which I'm not a big fan.
No. Especially if it's good lamb. Gonna cook the lamb medium rare. What are you gonna do?
You're busy, you sound like better.
Sure. We don't have anything else to do right now.
See you guys.
How's it going, Eric?
All right. You have a different sous chef than I thought you were going to have today.
Who did you think I was going to have? No, not with an hour. I didn't want to brutalize her, Eric. Sometimes I start to bark, and that would be bad.
Well, you can take the bargain.
Yeah. Sean and I know how to bark at each other.
We howl.
Thanks.
buddy.
Now we get to meet our new best friends over here.
This also sounds like something they might say in, never mind. All right, Andy, Chief Cook, you guys have 2 minutes to do an oral presentation to the judges and to the folks back here in the gallery. You have 2 minutes. You don't have to take the full 2 minutes, but you will be stopped at the 2-minute mark. I'm turning the microphone over to you guys. Your 2 minutes begins right now.
Thank you, and thank you guys for having us today. I'm Andy Roman with Smoke on Wheels from Kansas City, Kansas. Sean Peter here is from Pleasant Valley, New York. A good friend of mine, comes and cooks with us wherever we go, and he's my ground support in New York when we travel and cook there. What we did for you today, our mystery box had lamb chops in it. We had some nice rice to make risotto with. We saw mint jelly and some other things in there. I tried to steer away from that and go more savory. So we're down here in the holler, and I'm going to eat lunch at Miss Mary Bobo's in about 10 minutes. So I was really drawn on Mary Bobo's when I was thinking about what to put in front of you. So hopefully I've done the rice dish justice. I tried to match that pilaf that I love over there. We've got some grilled off asparagus, very simple, garlic, onion, salt, pepper. We've got a beautiful lamb chop with an au poivre sauce. Sean, my lead saucier, nailed the sauce. We hope you like that. And of course, we did put a little bit of the nectar of the holler in that sauce for you. The nuts were from a recipe that we were provided. We tried to match that recipe exactly as we were requested to do. We hope you enjoy it.
To perfection, in my opinion.
All right, Jason, first impressions.
Very complementary flavors all across the board. Very good mouthfeel. The fish was great. I think Mary Brothers would be proud to have an interview.
All right, Melinda, how about you?
Absolutely wonderful texture, and was done well for my taste as well. And loved that alternative the sauce. Definitely Tennessee honey, and I thought it was wonderful.
Jim Tapp.
I thought the lamb was particularly good, but I thought it had way too many peppercorns on it. It was going to kill the rest of the flavors we had with it. Cons were so-so.
Did you expect a different answer? Just an honest one. Then we're scared.
Are you done with the risotto?
Yeah. Yes.
Buffalo Meatheads, this is your 2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
Can I slide this over, please? Okay. Awesome. Yeah, you're on. There's Furry.
New York. Chief Cook Roy Griner. Roy, you're being assisted by Sean Myers. All right, you have 2 minutes to make your oral presentations to the judges. Your clock begins now.
Good morning, judges. Thank you for allowing us this review today. My plate in front of you there, your rice is a bacon Bloody Mary. Bloody Marys was on our menu this morning, so we thought we'd share it with you. We have a bacon wrap asparagus with Parmesan sauce on it, and your lamb chop has your glaze, has the Lynchburg back.
I have to tell you, I had the honor of being involved in I Know Jack since its inception. This was the 7th I Know Jack About Grilling in honor of old number 7. And Tony Stone and his family, we share this moment with you. We share the $1,000 with our 2012 I Know Jack About Grilling winners. It is 3 men and a baby back.
BBQ TV, we love you!
We love BBQ!
Watch your BBQ TV on YouTube.
And look for Mike Richter of Chick Swan and Bovine, barbecue legend.
You're not cold at all?
BBQ BBQ TV, we love you.
We love ZBQ!
Okay there, hello there, I'm John Hargate from Barbecue Shack in England. We're a small barbecue team based in Brighton on the south coast, where we run a barbecue business selling your regular brisket, pork shoulder, chicken, armadillo eggs, ABTs, all your regulars like that. We come to the Jack, this is our third year in a row, and we've got here by qualifying from the British Pitmasters series each year. Each year we hope to improve and carry the American food over to the UK a little bit. But cooking from the homeland this year, what we're doing, because British food is an amalgamation of lots of nations, and I'm sure that the judges here have been fed roast beef and Yorkshire pudding so many times by British, we're cooking a Chinese-based dish, which is the belly of pork, cooked at a very high temperature to give you a nice crispy bubbly skin, with a very succulent, well-rendered fat, but juicy, moist, lean meat as well. That's going to be served with grilled bok choy and a sweet garlic and soy sauce.
Hi, my name is Johnny Larsen with the European All-Stars. We traveled 3,500 miles to get to the Jack. Our team comes from Denmark, from Norway and the Netherlands. We are a mixed team doing training on Facebook and Skype. For the home cooking from the homeland, I'm doing a pork loin tender cut, and the team is preparing some nice side dishes. It's a grape salsa and something we call the chest potato. The chest potato, the American has never seen. That's the first.
The category was chicken. My favorite one was the first one I tasted, I believe. Because it had good flavor, it was very moist, and I enjoyed the sauce on top.
Okay. You don't get to see because you hit me. You're up.
I'm up.
Oh, okay. In that case.
So I thought they were all fabulous, but I agree with the first taster here that the number one was my favorite. Had the best appearance, the best texture.
And you thought beef were nice?
Hang on, I think I have something in my teeth. Do I? I think I may.
That's a shot I really want.
That's the shot you want? Is me? Just wiping it off. No, number one was a total smash. The wings were really good, really succulent, juicy.
I don't want to be.
Really nice sauce on it, not too much, just enough kick. It was great.
Okay. Can you reach that far?
Oh.
And she does it with this big smile.
What am I supposed to say?
Which was your favorite? Which was your least favorite? And why?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 3. You know what? Number one actually was my favorite. The taste was awesome, sweet, a little spicy, extremely tender. As far as my least favorite, I really didn't have one. They're all pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
And they should be. Right. At this level. Which was your favorite? Which was your least favorite, and why?
On what? The chicken?
Yeah. Well, whatever category. Did you eat pork now? Yeah.
Hey, I gotta tell you what. The most amazing stuff I tasted today was on the Cook's Choice from all around, and I'll tell you, they had some amazing things that, you know, we all eat ribs and pork and brisket, but I had some beef tenderloin that would just melt in your mouth. That's some good barbecue.
Okay. It should be a commercial. You're good. That was he stole all my adjectives. I was going to say amazing, good barbecue, I don't know, beef and pork. I was going to mention all that, but so far, so good. Great cooks here. These pit masters are throwing out their best. The chicken, I mean, it's so small, some of the stuff that differentiates the winners and the losers. They're all so really good, delicious. We're halfway through it. We're having a great time, and we're ready to keep going. Thanks for having us here.
This, I thought, was a really impressive round. I felt the pork shoulders, the pork butts that came in. There was a lot more variety than I'm used to at such a high level. Normally, high-quality pork butt cooking all comes out in a very similar fashion. Here, there was one that had a significant rosemary hit. There was clearly some really intelligent butchering done here. A couple of these entries, they had pulled out individual muscle fibers from within the butt itself and lined them up as a presentation rather than just pulling or shredding. It was almost more of a dissection. I thought that was really an accomplishment.
It get better. It does get better and better. Just like most of us judges.
The best meat I've ever put in my mouth. Oh, family show. I'll tell you, the pork today was fantastic. I love the variety of the different types of styles of the way they cooked it. Some had Asian, but the bark and the mixture of the consistency and the textures were fantastic. It's really a great balanced meal, very difficult. It's a good thing I don't have to decide which one is better than the previous one.
Stand up. Come on, stand up.
You know, the entries, the variety of the entries today was outstanding. I don't believe I've ever, in all my years of judging, tasted this different in the spices and in the smokiness. I was really impressed, and some of the best, look, bark I've ever had. That was great bark.
She's a doll, isn't she? You opened it up. Let's bring Marge over here. Hi, Miss Marge.
Well, coming from Toronto, Canada, we don't get a lot of barbecue where I am, but I go for it wherever I can, and this has been an outstanding experience, the greatest one I've had. It's quite remarkable, and this particular array was very interesting, but I must say I was very partial to ribs.
Hi, how are you? Good. Okay, this is BBQ TV. Okay, ready? Hi, I'm Kelly Sutton. I work in Nashville on Fox TV. So hello to all of you at BBQ TV. I got to tell you, this is the one day out of the year where I give myself permission to eat like a pig, and it's fantastic. We just did the pork category, and I have to tell you, it's hard because you have a discriminating palate. You want to taste the meat, but you also want some of that sauce. As long as one isn't overpowering the other, you just can't go wrong. I mean, we are among the best of the best right now, and you can definitely taste it. So the pork category, but you know, I'm waiting because brisket is coming up.
Thank you. Susan Whitaker's here. Hi, Susan. We have
ready? I'm Levi Good from Houston, Texas. Good Company Barbecue. Here judging the 24th annual Jack Daniel's Invitational World Championship Cook-Off. We just finished doing the tasting of pork butts. Great all across the board. Scale of 2 to 9. For my spot, it's all 8s and 9s. Wonderful barbecue. I'm in barbecue heaven. Glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, that camera there.
You should get a glove. I usually do it with the glove. Fixes.
You got red stuff all over, stuff flashing again. Took one picture. You got the red? I don't know what that is. Is it taking pictures? This is red flashing.
Well, that's volume. So volume's off. If you want to do it from the side, I can't. Are you on?
So I believe
Yeah, because it was 569.
concerned about that edge, but I think it's going to taste good.
It's so hot, so.
Take these little chunks off for me when I get done.
Carl, can you grab me a glove?
There on that side. Oh.
I
want to know, Mark, what you just ate. Talk about your brisket. Let me tell you something. I've been judging this contest now for about 6 years. That was quite possibly the best brisket category I have ever had at the Jack. I had 7 samples on the plate today. Every one of them on the mark for tenderness. Yeah, flavor varied, and there were a couple that stood out as the best on my score sheet, and my scores will reflect that. Each year, this contest gets bigger, it gets better, and the quality, and you can judge the quality and how it increases by that brisket category, because let me tell you, we're going 6 categories over here. By the time you get to that brisket, it can be a little difficult. But today, I could do brisket again if I had those same 7 entries. They were absolutely phenomenal and just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. One more. John?
I agree. I tell you, there was a couple on there. It's the best I've ever put in my mouth. It's really good. And I've been doing this a couple of years.
Oh, yes, I liked judging the brisket. Thanks. Very nice. Everyone is cooking very good.
Okay. Talk about the brisket you just ate.
A brisket. Well, I loved it all. I could eat brisket every day. I'm an Oklahoma boy who also lived in Texas for a while, so that's my key choice right there is a brisket. That was good. If I wasn't, it's a good thing they served that last because they've been first. I probably would have eaten way too much of that and then never would have made it through the contest. So it was great.
And on to you, David.
Thank you. Well, I got to say, that was some of the best brisket I've had. These guys really outdid themselves today. It's a really good job. Really good brisket.
All right, you talked about them stinking judges. Now you are one.
Hey,
but
I'm one of the most educated stinking judges you'll meet. So it's not like I don't know what I'm talking about. All those pieces of brisket we had, all 7 of them, enough already. All of them had burn-ins, excluding one was just slices. Everything else had pieces. All the burn-ins had good flavor, good texture. They were all Jack Daniel's World Invitational Championship barbecue quality briskets. They were all quality briskets. But you know that it takes just a little bit of a flaw to miss something out here. When they're all that good, it makes it that much more difficult to judge. So you set yourself to a higher standard when you come to judge here. You set the meats to a higher standard. And I think the cook teams themselves set themselves to a higher standard just to send that product through here. So overall, I think all of them were great. I'm sure everybody, is not going to have the same opinion for every table, but for ours, all 7 of ours were damn good briskets.
Hey! Mark, let me tell you something. This is just, food stamps could not even touch this place here. There's so much elegance. This is more like the Four Seasons, Antoine's in New Orleans. I mean, this food is just unbelievable. Anything Jack Daniel ever put, I'm from Memphis, Beale Street, and we don't have anything like this in Memphis. And I mean, this is probably the best soiree put on barbecue in the world. And I'm proud to be associated with Jack Daniel because it's XX, large, and grand.
We had some amazing desserts, all that had Jack Daniels in them, one of which was I don't know if you can see it there. There it is. It's a keg made out of all chocolate. It's completely edible. That was our winner. It was phenomenal. But there was also a great kind of cake that had, I think it was peaches in it or apples, and it tasted great too. But all 3 had a great end to the day. Can't go wrong with the desserts.
That's it, yeah.
All right. What do you want to know?
Everything.
Okay. What we ended up doing was we had in one of Myron's old smokers, and he was trying to enhance the features on it. And so what we ended up doing was we do a lot of work for the Department of Defense and up in Connecticut, and We do a lot of generator enclosures, and we knew about a really high-grade fibered insulation that we thought that we could go ahead and be able to hold our temperatures a lot more consistent and thorough. And we do it, again, we do it with the military and some of the marine application boats. So what we have is about 1.5 inches of insulation in here on a special insulated product with a 2-inch wall to create an air gap. And we can hold inside temperatures if we put a torch to it, and at 450 degrees on the inside in a 60-degree ambient room, we only got the 64 degrees on the outside. So it's not going to be hot to touch. No kids are going to go up and score their hands or anything. And one of the other things that we wanted to do was just try to give them some quality features. What we ended up doing was we tested a lot of different nitrogen shocks to put on these. And we know it's hard sometimes for people to open doors, but we found the right leverage and everything for the doors so they actually open themselves after you get past the tipping point. So people don't have to fight with the door to get it open. And it was just about balancing the shocks and making sure you have the right leverage points and focal points in order to get the door open. We have 4 lasers. We have a lot of manufacturing equipment with robots and lasers, and about 80 guys at my shop. So we decided to start trying to trick it out a little bit and trying to customize the stuff. And I was trying to get a theme. I was trying to surprise Myron and kind of a theme for him, a theme for Michael, and then the end model, a little bit of a collaboration of, you know, me and Myron's relationship and when I met him a couple years ago, and then we just, you know, he wanted me to try to build him a smoker, and so the last one has about my company Seacon and Myron's company Jack's Old South just coming together in a collaboration of the brands. It's, you know, water smoker, 2-inch insulation, 2-inch gap, 1.5 inch insulation. You can customize the utility shelves, 8-inch casters on the bottom, lock and swivel casters. The whole thing is insulated. We did the door stops. We did Myron's logo, good stuff on the door stops. On the indicators, we did all the dampers on the inside, and we had some fun with the labels that we made in the marketing department. So, you know, when your chimney's full open or whatever, you can leave it there and they're locked. We got high tension springs in here, so there's a lot of strength. 50% to 0%, you want to choke your fire, take it right down to 0%. Just another feature, instead a lot of people have the slides or just the caps on the top, we wanted to internalize everything and make it a cleaner look.
And you made it so anybody can know how open it is.
Exactly. You know, some people might have a really good day in their backyard, and they want to remember where they were when they cooked and what their chimney was set at and stuff like that. So it's a quick way to have a reading too, and know exactly where they were at.
That's so sweet.
In the firebox, again, we double wall insulated. Put the same indicators. They got the same orientation, so nobody has to remember, oh, it's different up there than it is down here. We also took the lip off. He used to have a lip here, but we wanted to make it easy to clean out for people. So they can rake the coals right out, so it's easy clean out. They did. We capped all of the expanded metal, you know, so nobody would cut their hands on it. A lot of times people leave this expandable metal and they leave an exposed edge. So I went ahead and put a laser cut edge all the way around it and capped it. Made it easy to take out too with a chain, so not, you know, you don't have to muscle. You got it. You can pull it all the way out very easy, like that. I'm sorry. You can throw it in. We made sure the whole damper system was insulated. A lot of people leave a big cutout here, and it's just single wall. We did double walls in many places as we could. We have these latches on here. They're really not needed. The door seals itself, but if people were concerned or whatever, or just from moving around, they want to latch them, they can. And that was our first cut at Myron's.
Well, where can they buy these?
MyronMixing.com. Jack's Old South. They're going to be all for him.
Hi, I'm Mark Woods, founder and CEO of Operation Troop Aid, prior military, 21 years, U.S. Navy. I started Operation Troop Aid about 8 years ago. Garth Brooks was the concert that happened right after 9/11, and he's the inspiration for this charity. He did a show on the USS Enterprise, to which I was stationed. I was the assistant coordinator for the show. That's what inspired me to create this charity. We travel around the country partnering with fairs, festivals, artists, and venues, raising money at those events to send care packages over to the troops. Right now we're at the Jack Daniel's World Championship Barbecue here in Lynchburg, Tennessee, set up, ready to go, and raise as much money as we can to send those care packages over to our troops. Our website is operationtroopaid.org. We sure would appreciate your support. And for all you military and government workers out there, we are CFC qualified. Our number is 26493. We'd love to have your support. Thank you very much. Again, go to the website, operationtroopaid.org.
In cash and prizes will be given away here tonight. Plus, bragging rights for the World Barbecue Champion. A little bit earlier in the day, we had the pleasure of talking a few moments with Mr. Mark Wood, who has got an absolutely incredible guitar here, signed by a lot of really well-known performers. This guy and his associated charity have donated more than $4 million. $4 million to our troops overseas. A big round of applause for Mark Wood. Mark. All right, Mark, you were telling us this guitar has been signed by the members of Alabama. Let's see, we've got the band Perry here, Vince Gill, Keith Anderson signed it a few moments ago, Little Jimmy Dickens. The list just goes on and on and on. The Judds have signed this. How are we giving this guitar away?
Well, you're going to pick a ticket. Right here in this bucket.
I'm going to pick a ticket? Oh, no. Debbie will pick the ticket. Debbie will pick the ticket out. You want to see me pick the ticket or Debbie pick the ticket? Top 10. Top 10 in the overall rankings. We begin with number 10, Firefighters Barbecue Team. Firefighters.
Man, done good for them.
They're not coming up?
No.
Okay. Number 9, Caveman Cuisine. Number 8, Buffalo Meatheads. Number 7, Flyboy Barbecue. Number 6, Three Eyes Barbecue.
They've been hired.
Number 5, Pigs in Blankets. Number 4, Smokin' Hogs Barbecue. Number 3, True Bud Barbecue. Now how about the Reserve Grand Champion? If you ladies would hold up the banner. There you go, the Reserve Grand Champion banner. Jeff's got this trophy that weighs, I don't know, 20 pounds down here. A bottle, a big ribbon, and a big check. Jeff, how much is your check for there on the back? $2,500. We also have $750 over here from Western Premium Wood Products. This incredible set. This incredible set of I'm not going to drop them, I promise. Do you think I'm a klutz? This incredible set of Hammerstall knives, and these things are top of the line. What else do we have here? Another great basket of goodies. Reserve Grand Champion. Wow. Are you ready? Reserve Grand Champions for the 2012 Jack Daniel's World Invitational Barbecue goes out to Swiggin' Pig. Swiggin' Pig. 2012 Jack Daniels World Invitational Barbecue Champions. We have seen election commercials come up. We have seen presidential debates come up. You have an election coming up. Election is just a few days away. Get out and exercise your right to vote. And even though the presidential debates have come and gone, there is no debating the 2012 Jack Daniels World Invitational Barbecue Champions is Pig Skin Barbecue.
One of the other little funny things that happened one year when we were judging, we had this gentleman of color that was apparently, I think he was on one of the daytime soaps or something like that. But he came in, he had the sweater tied around his neck, he had the black patent leather shoes, and just really playing it up as a TV star. And of course, folks were asking for his autograph. Well, he did really well during all the competition, and then it came time for the whole hog category. And I announced it at the table, and he says, "Whole hog?" I said, "Yep." He said, "Philip, can I talk to you just a moment?" I said, "Well, yeah." So we got up and walked away. He said, "Look," he said, "you forget this sweater." He said, "You forget these patent leather shoes." He said, "I'm a country boy from Georgia. So we used to kill hogs. What are they going to bring us to be sampling here at this whole hog category?" He said, "There's parts of that hog I ain't going to eat." So I assured him that they weren't going to be bringing him some. He said, he looked and said, "No chitlins?" I said, "No. No chitlins. All you're going to be getting is just the other parts." So he just sat down to judge it. But I thought it was hilarious. He'd been doing all this TV star deal. Then he let me know that I'm a country boy from Georgia. I know what was inside them hogs. So I thought it was a pretty good little deal from one of the contests.